So this is the one that works. There is no oil in them, so we can't really leave them running. You can see right here, this is the heat source. Take a look inside real quick. And what you're going to see is that this here is what heats the oil. And these two here, take a look. These are the actual temperature sensors of the oil. Okay? One's probably a limit, one's probably a temperature control. You know, like if a temperature control fails, we probably have a backup limit. I have to look at the schematic to see what each one is. But this is a gas unit. Where's the flame here? Do you see flame there? Because this is filled with oil, how's it going to have flame? Oil won't burn inside. Flame won't burn inside the oil. So what happens, there is a gas burner, but it's heating air that's flowing through that tube, and that tube gets hot, in turn heats the oil. So the flame doesn't directly heat the oil, the flame heats air. The air flows through and comes out up top here, through this vent up the top, and then out the ventilation system, and that's what heats the oil. Okay, so we could still fire it up real quick for testing, but we do not want to let it run without any oil, and it's not good for it, okay? So let's take a look at the fryer here on the right. We open it up, you look down here, and this does not have that USB that I was telling you about on the bottom here. It does have that metal connector for the USB, but we do have the power on and off switch like we had in the diagram. So we're going to power it on, and then watch the startup of it. Fryer's heating, okay? And then I'll tell you how this thing works in a minute. Let's see if he has the gas on and it fires up. 1 second.
I'm smelling gas.
Well, I smell gas in here all the time. Okay? You hear it? And I'm just going to go ahead and power it off. And as soon as I power it off, it shuts off. And we'll talk about the gas part of it later. I just want you to see that. So here's the drain valve for this one. This one's working fine. You heard it says heating, you heard the flame come on and everything. So can you open the other door there for me, please? Now you guys power it up and watch the sequence of operation. Go ahead, power it up. I'm not going to do this one. You guys are troubleshooting this one. Watch the operation. What does it say here on the display?
Draining.
It says draining. It didn't say heating like this one.
Yeah.
Press the buttons. Not doing anything. If I turn this one on, and it's getting ready to start up. Okay, it's heating. These buttons are, oh, as I got V, starts doing something, right?
Right.
So let's go here, turn it on. And so V did something on this one, let it go to where it gives an error, or it says draining. It's not changing.
Control board?
No,
Well, let's take a look at it further. This one says heating, this one says what?
Draining.
In other words,
There's
it's
no
stuck
oil
the
in there. Why is it draining? Why does it say draining?
Is there
The
any
sensor-
function
the
in the
sensor
board
is
that
wrong.
would make it
It's-
automatically drain?
No.
It does.
Let's go back to the schematic. What
the
did
board
we-
is seeing
Stuck in draining?
no signal, but it's getting a signal, whether the valve is closed or not. It's still getting a signal that the valve is open for draining.
And what tells it that? We just discussed it in the class. The valve switch.
The valve switch.
You were there for that part.
Yeah.
So that's the valve switch that's telling this board this machine's draining.
Right.
Is the valve open?
It's-
Now wait,
It's
look
the
at
same
the other
position
one.
as the other one.
Same position as the other one, right?
Switch
Yeah.
closed.
So go ahead and let's just see something here. If I power this one up, remember it says it started working. You got that on camera, the boot up of it?
Yeah.
It says heating. What happens when I go like that?
Says
Draining.
Just like the other one.
Right.
And then when I close this, what does it do? Fill
Fill
that.
that.
So in other words, it knew that I was draining, and now it's telling me, hey, put some oil in it, dummy.
Right.
Right.
It won't let it come on, okay? So I'm gonna turn that one off. And this one here says draining, and I'm gonna open and close this valve here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not draining.
Yeah.
So you have a defective valve.
Okay.
Valve switch.
So I'm
Okay.
So this is the drain valve, and it says it's draining. That switch was supposed to have how much voltage?
24.
Only 24 volts. The switch is these two wires right here. Can we get some light in there? You got your light?
I gotta find
I'm gonna get some light in here so you guys can see it better. So here's the switch right here, okay?
Yeah.
And this, what do you think this is right here?
Proximity switch.
You got a screwdriver over there, a small one?
Yeah. That's a mechanical switch. Once it touches.
Watch. It's a magnet. It's what they call a reed switch. Like, that's what they have on the alarms in your house. When you open and close the door, there's a little piece on the wall and there's a piece on
Yeah.
the door. And when you open and close it, the magnet opens and closes the switch. So when I go like this, it's this piece. Watch this next one when I do it over here. It's that piece, that magnet that's telling this switch whether it's open or closed. Okay, so let's power it up. And then we go like this. And heating, and then when I move this away, there's no electrical wires here. It's that magnet to this. Now, I was supposed to bring a magnet. I left it on my desk in the other room. Because I wanted to do was take a stronger magnet and go to this switch and see if I can get it, because it's probably stuck. But what we're going to do is we're going to shut off the power and unplug it. And there's two 5/16 screws here. 5/16, and we're going to take this bracket off so we can lift this switch off and bring it out here to look at it.
Yeah, but trace it.
Everybody, look what I just found.
Oh, yeah.
So I said it might have been eaten.
Look what I just found right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
And it's not the only one.
It's
Yeah.
not-
Not the only one.
oh my
So
goodness.
now, and they're all white, so
Yeah.
so now it's work. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 wires busted.
All right, so guess what? We found out why it was saying draining, but even if we got the drain part fixed,
Right.
now you're gonna have to go through this. So this is what you got to do. The switch itself is the problem.
Right. The wires.
The wires cut to it. So what happened? The board couldn't see the switch.
Yeah.
So when the valve is in the closed position, is the switch closed or open?
So you can't see.
Howard, listen, Sabdiel, listen for a second. That switch, think about this for a second. The valve is closed right now. When I go like this, it's open, right? The switch, is it closed right now or open in that position?
No, it's closed.
How do you know?
Because it's not getting voltage in the computer. Meaning,
If the wire was good, it would carry voltage and then it wouldn't say. So because the wire is broke, the circuit is open. But when the valve is closed, the circuit's supposed to be closed. In other words, think how I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this unit here, when this valve is here, the little magnetic switch that's up there closes and completes a circuit to the board, and it says, okay, then I know the valve is closed. But since the wires were cut, that voltage didn't. Remember I said 24 in supposed to come back? The 24 in is still going in because the board wouldn't light up. It's from that wire to the other part of the board through that switch, which goes from up here, down, and back up to the board. That circuit's broken. Now, again, we found multiple wires, so I don't know what other components within this thing is not working. But let's go ahead and put this back together, okay?
okay.